But see, that's what we do to each other. Whereas Gucci becomes an institution, FUBU becomes a fad. And if you understood what FUBU meant, it was an acronym, for us, by us. Now, it seemed like the meaning is to outlast the line. So we got to start, really supporting our stuff until the wheels fall off, That's why I'm constantly urging you guys to go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com, and, purchase a book. I'll sign it for you. Purchase some T-shirts. I'll sign it for you. Whatever. And we also supported We Juice. That's OUI.com. We Juice. It's a brother, personal trainer. He, created his own juice line, and I think it's awesome. Go to his website, check it out. I know some people have been telling me they've been having difficulties getting on his website, but that's fine. Just keep continuing to try back. I mean, he's actually rebuilding the website. So I just need you guys to get out and support and help people do what they need to do to blow up. I mean, it's Christmas season. We put that money back into our community. Trust me, it's just like planting a seed. So with that said, that is my community empowerment segment. If you right now, 323-965-1600. Oh, we got guests in the building. It's going to be crazy yet once again. Relationship as a contact sport. An in-depth look at violence and intimate relationships. This is going to be ugly. Domestic abuse, that's one layer. But we're going to talk about the nature of violence in relationship. Is it a deal breaker? What level of violence is a deal breaker for you? I'm going to get to all of the questions. But before I do, I urge you to get to your phone line, 323-965-1600. That is the number to dial. We would love for you to participate. Before I introduce everybody in the building, I also want to urge you to go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com, and purchase a copy of my book. I will sign it for you. Please, please, please support the movement. Or if you feel like you want to get a T-shirt from my website, hey, we've got T-shirts. Trauma and Forgiveness. Have been married longer than you is one. The other one is Go Deeper. Please support the movement. And Bobby's good friend, Sam Watson, in conjunction with the money team, Floyd Mayweather, doing something really big here in Southern California. If you're in the vicinity, please participate. That's the Watson Celebrity Basketball Classic featuring Floyd Mayweather, Sunday, 5 p.m. at Cal State Northridge in the gym. Please participate. Proceeds will be donated to children cancer research. Please, please, please. This is something you got to participate in. Every time I ask you to go do something, it's really a call to action. And I need you to go and support, because that's how we build our community up from the ground up. Let me tell you something. I always make that example about what if we kept the Major League or the Negro League baseball. I watched Bingo Long the other day with my daughter, and all of the ideas that I was talking about, that's what Billy D. Williams was pushing for right then. Even against black owners who weren't trying to pay the players, it was like, man, we could do this ourselves. Community empowerment, reinvesting in our community is part of what we need to be doing. Now that that's taken care of, all of the business, all of the formalities and technicalities, relationship, is it a contact sport? And if it is, does that automatically signal doom for your relationships? Before I get into my questions, we've got guests. Let's go to the ladies first. Always a pleasure to have this young lady in the building. She is one of my good friends. I met her through a bunch of other people doing radio many years ago with the Foxhole, Jamie Foxx's Foxhole Radio on Sirius XM satellite, and she made a name and a mark for herself there. And what was even better was when we went out and people could see her. It was pretty incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Brandi Magee has returned to the Zoe What Morning Show. How you doing, Brandi?
What's up, Zoe? It's good to be back at the Zoe What Morning Show.
I'm glad you're back. People thought you took a beating the last time you were here.
Listen.
But they don't know. You're a professional. You're a pro. You're very classy, and I appreciate
They
that.
haven't a clue.
They don't.
It's going to take a lot more than a few words to knock me down.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And new friend of the show, who has done the show several times, and we're happy to have her back as well. None other than relationship specialist, expert, radio, television, model, all of that wrapped into one tall-ass piece of candy. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Margo Hudson has returned. Margo!
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Is this not a very important topic and show?
I think it is. I'm very happy to be here to talk about this today.
Excellent. And Jeff Brown is late. On his way. Corey Holcomb, late, on his way as well. And Dr. Mark Goulston will not make it in today because he's 700,000 years old and his back went out. How your back go out while you sleep? His back went out while he was asleep and he had to go to the emergency room, so he's not going to make it. But we send our prayers to the brother. He's on our team. Whitey Locks, But he's probably got medical insurance, so he's okay. Sitting in his seat today, our good friend, OG, the realest man in the world, as is evidenced by his website, Real Men Don't Play. None other than my big uncle, my big homie, Uncle Bobby Glanton-Smith is in the building. What up, Bobby?
Well, if I was doing any better, I'd have to take something for it.
Oh, well, damn.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's get into this topic really quickly. As is commonplace, I like to ask questions first. Callers, get to your phone line, 323-965-1600. That is the number to dial. Let me ask this question pertaining to this topic. It's a very heavy topic. What level of domestic abuse are you willing to tolerate from your mate? 323-965-1600. Is there a level? Or is it just one time and it's over? Or is it 2 times? Or is it 3 times? Or what type of violence will be a deal breaker for you? Or what type of violence you can overlook? 323-965-1600. Ladies, what advice would you give your son if he was in a situation where his woman was putting hands on him? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Yeah. 323-965-1600. I'll ask it again if you want. No. At what point is domestic abuse in a relationship a deal breaker? We asked that earlier. Let's keep asking the question. I love the question. I see the phone lines are percolating. That's beautiful. 323-965-1600. Are women? This is a great question because we got beautiful sisters in the building that can answer this. Are women who tolerate domestic abuse crazy/stupid for doing so?
No.
Because a lot of times people be like, nigga, you crazy. That nigga crazy. You crazy for staying. 323-965-1600. Let's go deeper. Are any of you from a family that suffered from domestic abuse and later recovered from that dysfunction? Like, in your family, there was domestic violence and it was ugly, but then as a family, you guys kind of transcended and grew and learned and became better because of it. I think that's a rare happening, but I think it's possible. Somebody call us, 323-965. I see the phone lines. They crazy right now. 323-965-1600. The engineer's like, the phone lines, I see them. I know. They're crazy right now because I need your input and your experience. Oh, this is going to be great. This is a great question. Are there varying degrees of domestic abuse? Are some forms of domestic abuse worse than others, more tolerable than others, less tolerable than... Let's go in. We've got the sisters over there looking. They looking at me sideways, but it's fine. Let's ask. Let's start with Brandi. Brandi, can you answer any of those questions?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with the basic answer.
Hell no!
The basic answer is that domestic abuse is not acceptable on either side. I'll be fair to men and women. I mean, I don't think that men should be beating women, but I know there's some women out there that have been known to jump a man too, and I don't think that's the thing to do. Now, does one incident end everything? I think you have to take it case by case. I mean, sometimes there's domestic abuse, and sometimes you just got into a fight.
What's the difference? Please share.
Well, let me just say the new term for domestic violence is intimate partner violence.
IPV.
Is it?
Yes, it's intimate
I didn't
partner.
know that.
So whenever there's intimacy, so it can be a friendship level, it can be a lover. You know, of course, it seems like it's more intense the closer the people are. So in a love relationship, that's an extreme emotion. So sometimes people can, if they don't have control over themselves, they can definitely, you've been eating the wrong food, you're out of, balance, in a lot of different ways. It can definitely drive you to hitting, whether it's a woman or a man.
Right.
Hormonally, you can be out of whack.
Well, Margo, you're right, but it's actually three. It's three terms. It's CCV, common couple violence.
Okay.
Then it's IPV, intimate partner violence,
Yes.
and then it's IT, intimate terrorism. Unfortunately, intimate terrorism is like a blanket for all the forms.
Okay.
So, and that's because of, say, OJ, it's turned into, oh God, it's all, intimate terrorism. Intimate terrorism is distinctly different from CCV, common couple violence, and IPV, intimate partner violence. And what those two are is what you explained.
Yes.
I was in a bad mood, I was angry, I lost my job, I lost my cool, I grabbed you, I shook you up. That's common couple violence.
But that can also be psychologically, because a lot of people have things that, of course, the beginning of our lives affect everything in our lives and how we develop and, our views on relationships and how we see the opposite sex.
Absolutely.
Do we see them as a threat? Do we fear them? Do we embrace them? Do we love them? Do we really know how to love, how to embrace another person? Sometimes people, when they feel a certain level of discomfort, then they go straight to what's easiest, especially for men, because when men get emotionally revved up, the first instinct, and it's already been proven scientifically, that
you're already drawing a line.
Testosterone. I'm not drawing a line. I'm letting you know about. I'm giving you the science so you understand. So men, I need to help you understand yourself sometimes.
You see that?
You know what I mean? Women have to help you. You guys help us, and we help you.
Bobby. Bobby.
To the first question, what level of violence? 0. And I say that experientially because as a child, I got traumatized watching my mother get assaulted by this guy. And anytime she would go out with him, I couldn't sleep. I mean, I was a small child, and she'd come home with knots upside her head. That was back before any of these laws that they got in place now. And by the time I was 8 or 9, it was 2 things I wanted to do. I wanted to kill the man who hit my mother as soon as I could get old enough to do so. And the other thing, I made a personal vow never to strike a woman, period. And I've never have. But that works. It worked well in terms of me not doing it, but sometimes in our broken culture, if a man, especially in that area, if you didn't whoop a woman, she didn't think you loved her. Okay, so you end up getting pushed in directions that you don't want to go. And to the point she just made, there's another option there. It's called the fight or flight syndrome.
That's right.
All right, and sometimes if you're not gonna hit somebody, that don't mean that you want to. Okay. And it shows on your face too. You can look at somebody and they can tell.
If you feel the energy more than anything, you sense it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's important that we distinguish the differences. Sociologists and clinicians and psychiatrists and psychologists and these people who counsel people who go through this separate the two. Intimate partner violence, common couple violence can usually be dealt with through counseling. It's measured by counseling. A couple can go through something and then go to counseling and get it dealt with through counseling. Intimate terrorism, on the other hand, is something a little different.
What the hell is that? Intimate
terrorism is, it's like a circle of things that are enforced through violence. The circle of things is control, like You can't have any money. Who are you calling? Give me your cell phone. You can't see your family. You can't go anywhere. It's all controlling all areas and aspects of a person's life. And typically it happens from men to women, right? You can't do anything without my permission. And if you do, they're always under the threat of violence. They use violence as the enforcer to contain every aspect of that woman. That's called intimate terrorism. And that form of domestic abuse is monitored by police records, because what happens is the woman has to call the police get involved, and then they find out what's happening, whether it's abuse, and they get medical reports and all of these things because the person has been injured in that way. I think when Corey and Jeff, when they get here, they're going to go in the direction that common couple violence and IPV is now being seen in the same light as intimate terrorism.
Now,
go ahead, Brandi.
So I know I want to ask you a question. I want you to differentiate then, because you just explained to us what intimate terrorism is. So then what makes common couple violence and the IP one different?
Intimate partner violence.
Intimate partner violence.
Again, those forms of violence, and it's really a slippery slope, because they're seen as less dangerous than intimate terrorism, right? They're seen as less dangerous. The psychologists will see it in a space of human beings are violent, period. So our relationships are going to experience violence. So what happens, just like Bobby broke down so eloquently, he saw somebody abusing his mother. So the trauma that was created from that was, I want to whoop that dude's ass, and my personal vow is I'm never going to do that. But unfortunately, Bobby is a strong man. He's a great man, in my opinion. I respect him dearly. But unfortunately, a lot of times we'll have ideas and ideals that are not in alignment with our humanity. We're violent people. That's just the bottom line. This is just who we are. Is what we're about.
I don't agree with that.
Hold on one second. What's going on?
Respecting life.
You want to respect the light?
Respecting the light.
Well, come on in and sit down. Jeff Brown in the building finally made it.
Yes.
Can we kind of rib you a little bit for being late?
You can. But
it's not gonna mean nothing, no.
Yeah, that means shit.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change anything.
I have a great reason. I wish I didn't have the reason that I have, but I do. My son's school.
You gonna blame it on the baby?
Yeah, blame it on the baby. My son's school.
Look at Brandi. She's looking like this is the bush.
The teacher emailed me last night that their school is cold and their furnace ain't working. So they asked the parents to bring space heaters. So I brought the space heater, but what needed to happen, what took me a little longer, was that I'm not going to bring a space heater for some kids. It's 2,000 kids at this school. I really don't give a damn about 1,998 of them. This is my son. So what we need to do is move his seat closer to this heater from his house. I didn't bring this seat. I didn't bring this heater for them kids over there.
So it's your son and one other kid?
So it's my son and one other kid is toasty.
Okay.
And the other 40 kids.
Okay, because you said 19. Yeah, okay.
They go to school with about 2,000 kids.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about the rest of them kids.
Okay.
Do they know you don't care about them?
I hope
They
so.
do now.
Because in the event of an emergency, I will run my monkey ass into the school, grab my 2 kids, and run the fuck out. Or you'll get your dad or your mom.
Okay. Well, have you been listening to the show Standing Outside?
I have. I came in on Bobby, my Uncle Bobby. Was
Uncle Bobby
wanted to whip the dude's ass.
Yes.
That was violent to his mama, and I got a great story along those lines.
Well, go ahead.
It kind of follows the be careful of your past, because that is your programming, and you will run that program. You will run unconsciously. Everything in your everything you don't deal with that you don't like about yourself is in your subconscious programming. I saw my stepfather. This dude was a tyrant. He beat my mama like another dude. I was 5. He made me pull my own mother's hair. He was a Marine. He told me that I couldn't be a Marine, and he met my mother when I was 2. What did I do after high school? I joined the Marines. could not wait. The first girl I met that had a 2-year-old, I had to marry her because
that was the programming.
That was the program. I was going to run the program better than he did. And I was basically living my mother's script and replacing the girl, my first wife, with my mother. And I'm going to be better in this position than he was, as opposed to running my own ship.
Got you.
Yeah. So you definitely, there's no way that violence towards, violence amongst adults doesn't affect children. It's impossible.
Absolutely.
I agree with you 100% in what you're saying because, yes, of course. We all do. But listen, the important thing about what you said is that we always run that program. And the thing is that when I was talking about earlier about being a child and actually being susceptible to all of these different conditions, you actually will choose to be your mother or your father in your behavior. You will run that program when you get older. You'll choose one of them. Either you'll be the abuser or you'll allow someone to abuse you.
Interesting.
So we always choose, but it's subconscious.
Interesting. Let's stay on that topic. Let's stay on that point. We've got to take a quick break. But when we return, more on today's So What Morning Show. Is relationship a contact sport? We're going to find out when we come back in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, So What back in the building. Relationship, is it a contact sport? Do we have unrealistic ideas about violence? Is it possible to think, to hope, to dream that we could somehow extricate all violence from our intimate relationships? That's an interesting question. 323-965-1600, right? Can we take it all out of intimate relationships? I don't think so.
Out of everyone?
I don't think it's possible.
Not out of every relationship.
Which is more damaging? Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, or physical abuse? And who perpetuates the different varieties more? Are men dominant in physical abuse? Do we perpetuate physical abuse more than females? Or do women perpetuate mental, emotional, and verbal abuse more from them to men? I don't know. Somebody call us, 323-965. Oh, can I get my questions?
I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
I'm deaconing.
I see you. No, deaconing. Go, let's hear it, Deacon.
Preacher what? Preacher.
Deacon Brown.
I'll never finish a sentence. Well.
Keep going.
Oh, Lord. Say it again.
You know what? On a side note, that used to make me think church was entertaining.
It was a crap.
Church is entertaining.
Like when I was little, I was bored as shit until they start doing that. And then I'd be like, wow, this is funny.
No, church thing got horrible now, okay? Middle-aged praise dancers. The dream is over. Stop. Stop force-feeding us your front asses. We don't want to see it, okay? I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Find another way to serve God, okay? He don't want to see it either. God is not a God of mediocrity, okay? That's some bullshit y'all on. Y'all are on some bullshit. Stop teaching young girls that it's okay. You're going to walk the full road, okay? Stop eating ham hocks. Stop eating all the macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Do 15,000, 16,000 sit-ups. Come back and see us again. I'm tired of it.
Are women better at doling out verbal and emotional abuse than men are, or vice versa? Somebody call us, 323-965-1600. Margo seems to want to chime in. Margo?
I do. Now, when it comes to violence, when it comes to using the mouth and psychological harm, I think that women can definitely lead the way, and that we have hormones every month. And also, women, we don't have the leverage physically to fight you. So when we're upset, the thing that women use is their mind and their tongues. God equipped us a certain way to deal with complex. God.
Okay.
Yes, we're equipped a certain way.
This is a very
to be able to raise children. So we're very complex.
It's a very logical show.
Women to fight a lot of times.
Blame God for their tongues. From the Creator, she blamed
We're all
God.
created in God's image.
God said, "Talk shit."
Please.
God made me strong enough to whoop your ass.
That's right. No. But listen, you know what I'm just saying? Women are equipped a certain way and men are equipped a certain way. Men will go to violence quicker and will have to shut themselves down and go do something to divert their physical.
Sometimes you make me think that you're not doing your research.
I disagree.
I don't agree.
No.
I disagree with that.
You disagree with
Yes.
what part?
Well,
let Brandi.
I'll explain. Let me explain.
Well, I know women get the rap for talking a lot because we don't. But men, I think, like a woman might lash out with her mouth, out of
might
or will,
maybe
probably, every now.
Women do. I don't care what country you're from.
Perhaps.
Tiger Woods may have a few golf clubs at his house.
It could happen.
Yes,
somewhere.
Most women are in prison that were having PMS at the time that they committed crime, so that lets you know something.
So blame the cramps.
But I think when I think of the term abuse and the terms that you guys are using, which include like terrorism, I think of an ongoing, systematic, strategic plan to abuse someone.
Cycle, absolutely.
And I think that's different than a lash out in a moment that is heated with passion.
That's not what,
or in a moment that's stressful or something like that. So I don't know the statistics. I'm not even going to pretend that I do.
Okay. Well, I'm speaking about the crutches that people use, and they are tied to deep psychological urges that we already have inside. So they are linked back to something, and they will surface at different times, whether you're in an argument or whether it's some deep-seated real problem that you really need to be dealing with. So.
Wow, that's interesting, Bobby.
Well, first thing
Hello, Uncle Bobby, are you there?
what address is...
Bobby, were you on your cell phone?
No, it ain't me.
That's the devil dog on the line.
One of the things I learned at the appropriate time through having the pleasure of working with Jim Brown in the American program for the last 20 years is that the root cause of most things that turn our life upside down is fear.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It plays out with men in terms of the physicality until you meet either Big Chris or Alice Drew. And both of them women sleep with their fist balled up. And they're not leading with no slap. They got a full fist and packing with it. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So it ain't always to a man's advantage to think that he gonna outgun a woman physically. All right. But in most instances, women's verbal counter is sharper than a mother-in-law's tongue.
That's right. It's like a knife
and
in a drawer.
That triggers a whole nother set of things. I'd rather for a woman to hit me than to berate me. Because that lasts way after the fight.
Yes, it does.
Way,
and women can be
way
treacherous
after
when
the
it comes to the
Well,
tongue.
Here's my problem with that.
Go deep.
That's you're dealing with average women and average men. And maybe I had to aim my brain that way. Because I used to tell my ex-wife, look, you can say, your dick is small, these ain't your kids, and I'm fucking your brother. And when it's my turn, you gonna cry. Because your mouth is not like my mouth. My mouth is horrible. And on top of that, I have the worst temper in the world. I am getting a tattoo of the Hulk put on my shoulder.
Well, I don't know if it's the worst.
Our brother, I'll put it this way.
You want to affirm that.
Helicopters and police tape have been involved. Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I have a very bad temper. And I used to tell my ex-wife, you killing my love with your mouth. I'm telling you right now. These things that you are saying, every time you stick a knife in my love, and you keep sticking knives in it, and one day
You stick a knife in my love.
You sticking a knife in my love, and I'm telling you, here's my plan. You told me you didn't want us to have a gun in the house, fine. If somebody breaks in here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the iron by the cord. I'm going to beat that person until I do not recognize them or the iron. And then I'm going to throw them through the plate glass window, the sliding glass doors, hold them in our pool until I don't see no bubbles. Now, the way you talking right now, you make me want to grab the iron by the cord, beat you in your face till I don't recognize you or the iron, throw your ass through that window and hold your face under till I don't see no bubbles. I strongly suggest you quit fucking with me.
Okay.
Jeff, you're making me nervous.
He's not on this show every week.
That's the other guy.
No, he needs to be here today.
That's the other guy.
Let me say this. There's a book out there we should consider. I have it on my Kindle here. It's called The Verbally Abusive Relationship. It's by Patricia Evans. I've read it a few times, and it's a very heavy book. And what it basically says is, because a lot of times with domestic abuse, there's double standards. I mean, there's double standards in everything. Wherever there's a stereotype, there's a double standard.
Wow.
So with that said, for women, it's easy to say, hey, you got to be careful of what you say in front of our son or in front of our daughter, because those words hurt. And those words have a reverberation that lasts years and years and years. But then they don't apply the same thing when they're ripping each other down, right?
Right.
So with that said, I am one who believes that verbal abuse has a far greater and powerful impact on a relationship than physical abuse. And here's why. Typically, when men, and let me go back to it, there's a couple points. Margo, women are more violent than men are in relationships. Statistics prove it. They have a statistic out there or a survey out there called the CTS, Conflict Tactics Survey. And in the Conflict Tactics Survey, women are far more violent and instigate more violence in relationship than men do. The only weakness to the survey is that they don't account for impact. When men hit women, we break them. When women hit us, we absorb it, right? So what happens is there's a marginalization in the woman's physicality, when in actuality, you guys are far more physical. You throw more things, you kick, you slap, you push, you do all types of things. And let me show you how this all ties together.
More men have been slapped in movies than women.
And let me show you how this ties together. There is a set of beliefs that actually creates conflict in relationship that women now have to rewrite if they want to have a different experience with men. And that is belief number one: a man should never hit a woman. It has to be rewritten.
A man should never hit a woman first.
Here's the double standard. Here's the double standard. And I'm posing this to the panel, and I want you guys to think and respond. We can say in one breath, hey, everybody has their limitations, and we should not push a person past their limitation. Everybody is human. Everybody has a limitation. But who are the best at pushing people past their limitation in intimate relationship? Let's do it on a gender level, men or women. Are men just constantly looking to push their women past the brink of their ability to accept some shit?
It's not either. There's a little bit of both.
I'm just asking.
There's men who are frustrated, the power that women may have over them, and might resent women for this power. And those kind of men will try to take control of a woman and break her psychologically and physically. And women, on the other hand, a lot of times, you look at a little
line steppers.
Look at little girls and little boys when they're brought into this world. Look how sweet they are. Life experiences and people letting them down and people violating them. Often the people that are closest to them. Abuse is close to home. So it starts.
Go deeper.
It starts there. It starts in the home. So what is our psychological makeup? How do we view relationships? Do we think that the answer to violence is literally, I'm going to lose control? I don't need to have control over myself. What is self-control? And literally break somebody and put your hands on them. And the number one violence against women is a crime of which people consider rape. And we have to talk about rape when we talk about violence.
Go deeper.
And 99% of men are the perpetrators in rape. And a lot of times women are not just attacked physically by somebody punching them, but a lot of it is a sexual assault, which is a crime.
Give us an example. You say asexual
an example of a sexual assault, a crime, and it's not a crime of passion. People tend to think that it's motivated by some sort of passion.
You mean somebody just taking the ass? I'm just trying to understand.
Yes, no, somebody that's literally taking the motivation behind sexual violence is to humiliate someone, to take control, to overpower them,
a stealing of their power.
Yes, to steal them, humiliate them, and to minimize them for whatever their personal psychological, whatever is that soothes them in some way because they're psychotic in their psychotic.
Unfortunately, I've never been raped.
Yes,
I would like to see what it.
Experience it, though.
But Ray, that needs to help in order for that to.
I'm just processing. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'll handcuff myself.
Oh, you are. Oh,
yeah. You pick the dark bushes. I'll stand out. Tell you what, if I wasn't married, Brandi could rape me. Shit, here I am standing out here. I ain't got just a thong and a cell phone.
You couldn't get an erection, Jeff.
I could. Shit.
No, you couldn't.
Her?
Oh my God!
Not if she took it.
Look, brother, if she did, my dick would be so hard a cat couldn't scratch it. You got to keep fighting it. I don't know if you see what I see. Do you see what I see?
I
No,
think
that
it's
ain't what's going.
different.
That's not your feelings going to get in the way. Because anytime somebody takes something from you,
Especially your
It's
power.
a exactly.
it'll shut you down.
Well, baby, if you listening, go on, try it this evening. Go on and piss me off first and try to take some dick. But I'm going to try not to give it to you. Let's see how that works.
I'm gonna try not to.
Margo makes a great point, but I think power is the issue wherever abuse is involved, including emotional and verbal. Because when a woman is tearing a man down, Richard Pryor said it excellently. You know, don't get caught trying to argue with a woman. She'll have you standing there babbling, right? She will break you down. And I think in a lot of ways, women gain a lot of power from tearing their men down.
When they feel powerless. When women feel powerless, that can happen.
Let's not justify it. Let's just say that's what it is.
I'm just telling you the motivation behind it sometimes.
I think sometimes in these conversations, as we get too far from solutions, is right and wrong. Because here's the real deal.
Go deeper, Bobby.
If you're into a situation where you have strayed away from what drew you to that person, then you need to leave. Because if somebody, if you got a person in your
I'll
life
talk about
that can break
everything
you down,
just because something you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater every time.
No, we ain't talking about no baby. We're talking about grown ass.
I know what you're
folks.
talking about.
Okay,
I have something.
So
to
if
say.
somebody can set you off like that, then they don't have your best interest at heart. There's something else going on.
That's something else. That's what you're talking about.
real.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that there are, just because your relationship, I'm saying if it's violence involved, I don't think that the relationship has. I mean, for me, I wouldn't stay in a relationship that was violent, even though I have been in a relationship before that was, it grew into a psychologically, situation where it became abusive. How did I distinguish? What do you mean?
Abuse is abuse, whether somebody's abusing you with their mouth or with their hands.
Whether they beating your ass or beating your soul.
When it's
spending time with somebody that preoccupies themselves.
I'm just saying, I'm not talking about when violence is present. I'm saying that a lot of times people are throwing their relationships.
I say verbal. I don't care whether it's verbal or physical.
Okay.
If you're in the presence of somebody that's supposed to love you and they're beating you down, you're in the wrong relationship.
And I think, Bobby, I think
unless you believe that you deserve that violence and the level of abuse, people always listen. It's not foolish, because this is the way the human works. Let's check this out. Let's go deeper.
Let's go deeper. Bobby said,
"Shit." Let's go deeper here. Listen. This has been talked about in a lot of different spiritual teachings, but people are always willing to accept the level of abuse and torture that they actually inflict on themselves. When you start hitting them and beating them and abusing them more than they abuse themselves already, then that's when they leave.
But I think what you're saying,
it takes a person 7 to 8 times to leave an abusive relationship.
No, that end up homicidal. Somebody ends up getting killed.
75% of people who stay do die in relationships.
Are they killed?
Margo,
look up. This is
maybe I'm listening to you wrong.
Yes. Okay.
But that sounds 180 degrees out of phase of what you said, in contradiction to what Uncle Bobby said.
It was me responding to something that he said it wasn't attached to violence.
Give me a little bit more room.
What happened to my sweet Margo?
Yes, that's exactly the point.
That's not what I was responding to. You're not listening.
I'm trying.
You're not listening.
I'm gonna tell you. I can't tell you what it is.
I told you I was responding to him saying you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater in a relationship that's just going awry. But if it has to do with violence, you absolutely need to get the hell out of there. What do you mean,
Margo?
What's the distinction you're making between violence?
Yes.
All kind of violence. I'm not talking about a specific violence. I'm talking about abuse in all of its aspects.
This is confusing to me because I think there's prolonged, sustained, terrorizing abuse, and I think that sometimes
you get mad and you lose
into a fight. And I think, I ain't even, it might have happened once or twice with me.
It happened to me too.
And those types, I think that there are times when you can say, okay, we both overstepped our boundaries. We both got out of hand.
Let's sit down and talk about it.
We understand the error that we made in doing that.
Right.
That's a fight. But when you guys say abuse, if it's ongoing, if somebody is continually breaking you down and keeping you under their thumb in a way so as to control you,
right,
and to keep you or to dominate you,
right, for
their own benefit, whether that's psychological, spiritual, sexual, whatever it is, that's a different thing.
Yes.
That's abuse. Yes, and I think those are two different things, and let's not confuse them.
And that's what I was saying earlier today when I said CCV, IPV, intimate terrorism. But what happened, OJ happened, Chris Brown happened, this other guy. What's the other guy? The football player who headbutted the girl. That was
Ochocinco.
He had everything now gets categorized as intimate terrorism. And it isn't necessarily intimate terrorism. Well, it could just be, as Brandi pointed out, a fight. And what happens, I'm going to give you this, right, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What happens is we'll get these ideas of, like what you just said. See, I have to attack the ideas that create conflict in relationship. An idea of, if there's violence, I'm out. Is what you're going to do is find yourself floating adrift. Because at the end of the day, violence is part of the human condition. Jeff?
I agree.
Okay, I'm going to have to disagree with that. So I'm going to tell you.
We're animals, dude.
I'm going to tell you why.
We are.
I've been with my wife going on 5 years.
Hallelujah.
We have never, ever, we had a ton of disagreements. Usually deals with 85% of it is the ignorant shit I do. Okay, straight up.
85% of it.
The forgetful, the short-tempered. It's just me. Okay?
It's sweet that you know that.
I know it.
It's sweet.
We have never, ever had a disagreement that was louder than I'm talking right now. And that is a personal decision that we have both made with regard to communication. And we're not perfect, but because I know who the guy in the cage is.
Maybe she knows too.
Exactly.
I'm going to shut my mouth around this dude.
The concept,
and now we know.
It all started from the hands-on experience,
the concept,
the mentoring that I received.
Sisters, under the sound of my voice, if you treat your man worse than you treat your bishop, you out of pocket. Because you do not take, them funky words, you don't even see them funky words when Bishop so-and-so come round.
That's right.
You are making a choice. If he had a shotgun loaded in your fucking mouth, you wouldn't say that. You'd make another choice. But you don't make that choice because you think that it is, this is something I can get away with. This is something that will not have
Interesting.
Answer. I will do X and Y will not happen. I will do X, and if Y happens, so what? I can fix it later. You don't say that when you're talking to a police officer, a bishop, or a nigga with a gun.
That's true. That's true. Bobby?
I want to go back to the supposition that violence is innate in us. Violence, in my world, is a reaction to a threat.
Yes.
Wow.
It's not our nature to just be violent.
That's
You don't
right.
get to keep
Amen.
going.
Oh, no.
Okay, I want to clarify I want to clarify what I mean when
No,
I say
I disagree with that, Bobby.
because
towards Zoe.
okay.
Well, hold on.
I think me and Zoe are aligned.
Yeah, we are aligned here. Bobby's wrong. I'm just going to go there. We are aligned here. We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will finish this most heated discussion. Zoe Up Mornings. We'll be back.
It's his show, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to have the last word.
Talk about shit in the morning. Zoe Williams. I'm telling you, that's that shit right.
Is that the new theme song?
Yeah, I guess. That's that shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Zoe What Mornings back in the building. We're back on this topic. It's been pretty heated so far. I mean, it's a tough topic to have. It's violence in relationships. The name of the topic is relationship a contact sport? There's some statistics out there. There's a guy up at UCLA. He wrote a book called Intimate Relationships. Forget his name. Benjamin Carney and Thomas Bradbury. These guys are sociologists, psychologists, and they've done the research. They've done research with newlyweds.
Dude, you read like an inmate.
Well,
but see, here's the problem.
Read 900 books.
Here's the problem. Common sense ain't that common because a lot of these
Can I
people
finish
with
my
these
point?
degrees. Oh, of course you can.
and then I'm going to throw it to Bobby, my
I'm
uncle.
sorry.
Then I got to throw it to Uncle Bobby.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying you read a lot of books.
No, but in that book, they broke it down very clearly. They did research with 50 newlyweds, and those couples, half of them went on to have great relationships after violence had manifested itself in the relationship. So to go to Brandi's point, there has to be a distinction made between getting angry, losing control, and having a fight and being abused, right? There has to be a distinction made. Now, with that said, Bobby was saying human beings can transcend violence. There's something that can say, you know what, I'm going to turn this violence off. I happen to not believe that. I want to give the floor to my Uncle Bobby. Bobby, please tell me why I'm wrong here.
Violence is not wired into our DNA. It's a reaction to a threat. We spend most of our time minding our own business till somebody mess with us. All right, and you look at the animal kingdom, for example. They don't run around looking to pick a fight. They fight to either defend or to eat. But they're not innately violent. I mean, animals walk by each other all the time if they full and let them be. But if they full,
that's funny. If they full, I like
giraffe can walk right past a full lion.
Yeah, he gets another day. But when that sun come up that next morning,
that's your ass.
It might be a different outcome.
Yeah. And I wonder what method he's using to make that outcome.
I like to ride on what Bobby's saying. Something very important when you said it, and it's triggered something. Because at first I was saying, you know what? It is actually, we are born in love in the beginning, but things happen along the way that change us.
Is being born in love the same as being born in sin?
Well,
sounds like some crazy
I'm not an expert about being
the way I do it.
I don't know if I agree with sin, but let's go back to this. But this is what I want to say. I want to just basically say that when when you do something, it becomes part of your DNA. You break your arm, your child, your children, the people coming after you will have a weakness in that left arm where you broke that arm in that spot. They do. And also which violence also can become a part of one's DNA, but it can be dormant. It's almost like being predisposed to, having diabetes. Alcohol. Just because people in your family had diabetes doesn't mean that you have to have it, but it is sitting there waiting, and it can happen under the right conditions.
That's beautiful.
Manifest.
That's a good point.
But see, everything is dormant. All right, the question is, what are the triggers?
Yes, what are the triggers? And they're different for different people.
Human beings are animals. Okay? Bottom line, they're animals.
With ATM cards.
And what you guys, with ATM cards, right? What you guys are...
We're not just animals.
What you guys are articulating... No, we're more than animals,
we're highly sophisticated
but animals nonetheless.
We're embodied. The body is the crust of what we really are.
Is it my time?
Okay. All right.
It's my time, man.
Can I back you up?
All right, it's my time, right? Now, I show you respect. I let you talk, and then I get the backlash. You don't let the pretty girls talk enough, and then I get out the way, and then when I say what I need to say is because I wasn't finished.
I can smash that shipped in business if
you
want.
Could smash that shipped in business.
Okay, do it then. What you got? What you got?
Okay, Margo.
Yes. Name
the 3 people public figures that we would all know that you admire the most, living or dead.
Who do I admire the most?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
I admire my mother.
We don't all know her. Somebody we all know.
Someone we all know.
Celebrity figure, political figure.
Janet Jackson.
None of them. Jesus Christ, Margo.
Folks, I gotta think.
I don't like nobody but my mama.
But I do.
Okay. Let me help you out.
Shut up. No.
Let me help you out. I'll help you out.
Right. Mama, I love you, Mama.
I'll help you out. No. You can put Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Mahatma Gandhi. And Barack Obama.
And Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, and Oprah Winfrey.
Like Oprah.
In a cabin. With no food and no water.
And it's on.
2 weeks. What you think you're going to come back and find?
Oprah
gonna be done ate somebody. Dr. King gonna be missing an arm.
You're gonna be 3 people fatter.
Fucking cannibals. Okay? We are animals. Yes.
The Donner Party.
I wouldn't eat somebody like those people that were stranded out there.
The Donner Party.
Shit. Bullshit. That is your spirit talking.
I would eat something.
Your spirit ain't connected to your damn gut.
I would eat something, but no.
Let your gut start growling. My pinky finger start looking good.
I'm not eating a person.
Whatever.
I mean, we mimic eating each other sexually. Why not? Just go ahead.
I would not. I barely eat.
Margo, I swear to God.
I haven't eaten meat in 20 years.
Let me get hungry, Margo. Let us be in a cabin. Girl, I'm going to eat you the other way. I swear to God. You're going to be gone. You're going to wake up. He sure won't, because you'll wake up missing a foot.
So let me make the point that I was trying to make before. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. You have a brain, our brain, the human brain. You have the limbic system. You have the old reptilian brain, which has no connectivity to emotion. It's just instinctual. This is the part, yes, it's fucking, it's pleasure, it's instinct. Do the limbic brain. Go ahead.
I'm getting away from you.
Right?
You kind of sound
come on. That is the limbic system.
Okay.
Now, what happens with what Brandi was saying earlier, right? Brandi was saying there's something called a fight and then there's abuse. Well, the researchers call it frontal lobe hijack. The frontal lobe is where all of your higher consciousness functions of the brain are.
Hello.
Communication, empathy, emotion, feeling.
Absolutely.
The limbic system, or the reptilian brain, hijacks that when it's angered, when it's frustrated, when it's triggered, whatever.
Come here.
Even when it's addicted, right? So to say humans aren't animals and our frontal lobe can be hijacked when we feel fight or flight or pressure or whatever is, I mean, it's unrealistic. This is why I say some of the belief systems that we have in place, we don't have beliefs that are in alignment with the human condition. We got beliefs that are in alignment with fantasies. I believe my man will never harm me. You're wrong. He will. He will at the right opportune moment if he's in a situation. Now, what happens, especially in our society where, like we talked about last week, we have a court system where now we can paint a picture where something as I got mad and we had a fight can get painted into he's an intimate terrorist or an abuser. That is a person manipulating the system for revenge sake. And we have to understand, just like there are what's the word I'm looking for abuse? What's the term? Domestic abuse cases. There are also just as many domestic abuse cases that are fraudulent. Let's just keep that in play too.
I'm gonna hit myself in the face with a cantaloupe and then say it was him.
But the justice system isn't always fair. So sometimes people who are really getting raped and really are being abused, some of those cases go and they get thrown out.
Absolutely. You're right.
Well, you're right.
And most of the women don't even report when they've been raped.
Because they've been humiliated, and a lot of times the people, they're going to question the person and say that you didn't say no and blame the victim, and that's why a lot of women don't come forward. They get victimized all over again when they go to the system.
Ladies and gentlemen, someone has walked in the building a little late, but not too late.
Right on time.
To contribute to the show. We're talking about relationship. Is it a contact sport? We're talking about domestic abuse, violence, as it pertains to relationships.
You're talking about smacking up these lousy bitches.
No, well, I'm coming in late, and I heard what you guys were talking about, but I don't know if somebody's been here before, but most girls need coaching, and sometimes when you coach people, you have to put your hands on them.
Oh, God. Why is that?
Oh, my God.
If you have to beat the girl up to the point where she looks beat up, then she may not be coachable.
Oh, no!
Most girls, after you establish your dominance by sitting on them for like 20 minutes, let them know that you're the king, you know what I mean? Nothing to hurt them real bad, but to let them know you can't whoop me, and I ain't having that. Most girls will be like, okay, I'm going to have to do something else. Sitting on them for 20 minutes is very effective. Every girl I sat on for 20 minutes or more, they never challenged me physically again. They realized they couldn't get to me. It's a fool right here.
That's what dogs do, don't they?
Yeah. You know, I didn't even know dogs do that, but I know it's very effective.
You time
Man.
About 20 minutes. Maury Povich had about 25 minutes left on it. I got up off him right at the last one when you found out dude was not the father. I was happy I jumped up, so really that's why I got
by default it was 20 minutes.
Oh my God. So let me ask, because the fraud portion of domestic abuse and violence in relationship is prevalent as well. Do you think there are a lot of ignoble claims out there, or women? Like, let me give you an example. How many times, like, I've had an uncle like Bobby tell me and tell female members of my family, don't get your brothers and your cousins killed because you on some bullshit.
Absolutely.
Right? And what I find is, to me, the fraud in domestic abuse is associated to revenge. And a lot of times when they go send a cousin or a brother, because when I was a young kid, I mean, back in the day, we used to fight. We didn't shoot.
We didn't all got that call.
We used to fight. So my understanding for fighting was I have to maim him. I gotta like make an example. I have to hurt something on him.
Crap a couple of
because then I won't have to fight. That was my rule.
Break a nose.
I mean, I got into a fight once a year at school. I get in a fight. Oh, the light skinned nigga, the new nigga, green. Okay, I'm gonna fuck with. Okay, now I have to break something or do something so he'll go. Okay, that nigga's crazy, and I never fuck with. Nobody fuck with you no more. So my point is, if you sending your cousins and your brothers after a dude and not knowing that you sending them after that kind of dude and he gonna try to maim him or hurt him, and you know that the case you put on him or the case you sent your cousin on is fraudulent because you just want to get some revenge, how often is that happening, and is that still happening in the hood the way I remember it?
Let me touch that. That's a little different where me and Corey come from. Okay?
Chicago.
Yes, Chicago.
Talk to us about
fighting is like basketball. Okay? Just because I see you go crazy on this dude, that's that dude. If I want some, I'll come get some at you. I ain't really care. I ain't really worried about it. Where the problem comes is when you don't understand that any woman hit twice by the same dude is half to blame.
Ooh, go deeper. Go follow that.
Any woman attacked twice by the same dude that is in a relationship. I ain't talking about the same nigga that keep robbing. Why you keep robbing us? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about any Corey got a funny ass joke about taking his girl, his friends keep robbing her and they keep making money. Anyway, okay. Any girl that's in a relationship
this
and
nigga
your
watching
dude
your set
beat your ass 3 times, the time 2 and 3, part of that is on you. And what happens? How so? Is that's the way y'all communicate. When he say he wants some more mayonnaise, goddamn it, he wants some more mayonnaise. That's how y'all communicate. Because you did not leave.
Can I?
You can, but I'm gonna ask you this. Because I'm talking about
that's
this.
How they communicate.
Margo,
I want some more mayonnaise.
Yes. If you went back to your house right now, yes. God don't give these words any power. If you went back to your house right now and it was burned to the ground, nothing is recognizable.
Yes.
Would you pull up some of the embers and ashes and lay down and go to sleep there?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not a place that I would be inhabit.
Then why, if a nigga black your eye,
you going back?
You going back.
Because psychologically, if somebody's been good to you, it's kind of like somebody punch you and then they rub you.
There's still something there.
And they rub you.
No, you mean like the slave master?
No, let me let you in. Come on, let me let you in.
Olivia Pope.
Hold on. We're going deeper. Okay. So basically, if somebody's been nice to you, and men and women go through this, especially, it's more so women. Women will expect that nice treatment again. They want the nice guy to come back, so they'll stay there with them, and the attachment grows. It grows and grows and grows, and it's been reported by, and I even have psychologists.
Because the house ain't burned down yet.
7 to 8 times. It hasn't. It takes 7 to 8 times for a woman to leave her abuser. This has been proven over and over again. It takes a while.
And our part is,
it takes
let's turn it another way. Let's turn it another way.
So it ain't her fault?
Instead of saying...
No, it's not. And the abuser, a lot of times men will blame women for the abuse.
But wait,
we are not responsible for you to maintain.
I'm not saying you're responsible for the abuse. You're responsible for going back to the geographical location that the abuse took place.
But that's how the mind works. It's just
hold on. Let's just hold on.
It's not.
Don't some people need their ass whooped to feel like they are wanted? I'm just asking, is that a bad question?
It was.
I think there are people that are like that.
Some people need to get their ass whooped to feel like they are wanted and needed.
They believe that because they've learned that behavior because that's what they take as love. Some people don't know love other than being hit.
Then stop calling your cousin them to fight the nigga then.
Well, I don't call my.
Go on and put the steak on your eye, put the potato on the bruise, and keep it moving.
I don't like guys who beat up girls.
It takes a while though to leave.
Every once in a while, like when you're disciplining someone.
This guy.
Mark may be left.
I think he got some leashes at home.
You supposed to rub him after that. Look, baby, I ain't want to do you like that. No. I say sweep the flow, bitch.
Y'all don't listen to Corey. Y'all gonna end up in a hole.
Okay.
Don't listen.
Your last couple of trips, you've been.
He got 7 times to do that.
No.
Wait, hold on.
No, that's not nice.
To go back to your point,
yes.
you were talking about, what is that syndrome? Is it Stockholm?
It's Stockholm Syndrome, I think? Yeah.
All right, we talked about that last week.
With a name for it.
Yeah, that's what it's called, Stockholm Syndrome. So, again, you mentioned that, but I think on a certain level, at the end of the day, you can't just say, she goes back to her abuser. you have to start recontextualizing it to include her in the responsibility of the toxic environment.
Absolutely.
So and say she's abusing herself by going back to, quote unquote, her abuser. So that makes her an abuser as well. A lot of times we take the positionality that women are simply victims in a violent situation, when in a lot of cases they are not only perpetuators, they are maintainers of a toxic situation.
Willful cheese on the sandwich. Some girls you ain't never got to beat their ass, but some girls you got to beat their ass.
Look, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about people allow the level of abuse that they give themselves already. If you abuse them more than they already abuse themselves, their level, then when you go over that, that's when they start thinking like, you know, I need to get the hell out of here because this is not good for me. But people do abuse themselves in many ways.
Bobby?
If you talk to policemen, the one call they dread going on is domestic violence.
They go back.
Because people be like calling the police, and then when the police come, especially if it's a woman call the police on a man, and the police start beating the brother down, then she piles in on the cop, and it just gets crazy. And the reason I brought that up is, why don't somebody just leave?
Yeah,
you know, just
they
leave.
They can't
and leave for good.
They can't. It's not so simple
But
because
yeah, it is.
Why? It's as simple as a burnt down house.
Because it's not a physical thing that's happening. Everything starts on the inside. Everything in life, everything.
That's where you make that decision to get the fuck on.
Why can't it just be girls out there who realize I fucked up? He beat my ass. I deserve that ass whooping. That's why I'm going back home to my good man. He take care of me and my kids I brought with myself. He is a good man. It's just I fucked up.
He taking care of these kids. Don't look like either one of us.
If we could do a survey, how many good brothers who have gone out in defense of a fraudulent claim has been maimed or mauled?
My uncle Junior.
Talk to me.
Cemetery littered with them.
Yes, my Uncle Junior.
And do women have any conscience of the lost family members?
My Uncle Junior has had a soft spot for women being abused.
Tear some shit up while you're at it. Okay?
He was on his way.
None of this shit.
He was on his way out of a Jewel's in Chicago.
That's a grocery store.
Yes. This dude was beating this girl like a fucking pinata. He walked up.
What you eating?
Told the man, almonds. Nuts. He told the man to stop beating the girl. Dude swung on him. Him and the dude got to fighting. My uncle was stabbed to death by the woman.
Wow. And the only reason why I bring this up is it's not a blame game. I only bring this up because these are the fucking intricacies of violence in intimate relationships.
It's not that intricate.
But it's also...
It really ain't. And it's so simple, it's hard.
It is. And it's hard to
well,
get
go
out.
ahead,
It's
tell
hard
us.
for people to get out of it.
Why?
No, it ain't that hard.
But
if you just get back to right and wrong.
It is, because listen.
How do we get so far?
Okay.
All this CDF and DVD and IFP and all that kind of shit. It's just a world that's based on right and wrong.
I know what happened, though.
What happened?
Caucasian people have set up a society
There we go.
full of chaos. There was a time where the fool in the village, the man who was a woman beater, he was easily identified because there wasn't a lot of them.
Right.
You know, men circled the wagon around the village, and the dude who was the woman beater, he got called out. He got
by the community.
By the men.
Community.
Yeah.
We live in a society now where the people who calling you out are the police.
Right.
And they not about the community. So as we have basically relied on the law as our salvation, we've become this society where you don't know what's right. You don't know what's wrong. You don't know who to help. You don't know when to jump in, because when a man and his woman is having issues, it's really not your business. You're supposed to let them work it out. But because things are the way they are,
right?
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I don't even know what the fuck is going on, because nobody likes to see a woman get beat up in front of them, especially like real men.
Right.
You really want to say, what the fuck is going on over here?
And you mean beat up? Look, let's get an example of what is beat up. Let's go there.
Beat up is
a hockey
punches,
fight.
right? Punches thrown.
Balled up fist, punch you in the mouth.
Or choking.
One punch or multiple punches?
Or choking.
Well, punches with a girl
Does
is
it make
not
a difference?
necessarily my thing. Most girls, like, you could just shake them up. Unless you got one of them real big bitches.
What
I've been in that situation before. I'm like, this bitch too big. You got to fight this bitch. It's hard. But
Big Shirley.
Right. Most girl, I seen this dude. Me and my homeboy was talking to this girl. This dude got out the car. He walked up to us. He said, "What's up, man?" Then he grabbed her and shook her ass the fuck up and threw her in the car. We knew what that was about. He was like, "Oh, that was his woman."
Right.
Because she had no resistance.
But is that abuse?
No, it's not abuse.
Ladies?
It's not abuse.
Is that abuse? Ladies?
Well, what is abuse?
Yes, it's abuse.
What is abuse?
If you go put your hands on somebody, even if it's a woman going to shake her man up, that's abusive.
So if you're doing that to your child, mama, are you abusive?
That's abusive as hell. If you're doing it on a regular basis, yes, you're abusive.
What?
It's not
Shaking your kids?
Yes, it's abusive.
You can't. I done shook the shit out of my kids.
You an abuser, though. That's why I asked, what's abuse?
Abuse is abuse.
Get your ass over here and sit down.
With that energy, Margo, with that energy, you have just disqualified yourself from raising a black male properly in America.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely.
How?
How? I'm gonna tell you.
Because he gonna need to be shook up at some point.
You gotta.
Definition of abuse.
When you raise, thank you. When you raise a black male,
that's what we're looking for.
When you raise a black male as a black male,
you gotta shake.
You got to draw a line and go, look here.
Yes,
I love you. It's love on the other side of this line. But if you cross it, I'm gonna knock your block off.
And I've had to see in my family. I've seen
back on the other side.
No, it can't be necessary. So is it abuse or is it necessary discipline?
But it's necessary.
Abuse is when you need medical attention after disciplining.
That's a good word. Wait, listen to that definition.
That'll work.
Say it again.
Abuse is when you need medical attention after you have been disciplined.
So if you take your girl in a foam room and smack the shit out of her,
smacking your woman is not abuse.
No, it's really
Smack
smacking your woman. If you feel like a dude is taking advantage of you, you're gonna get away from him. I don't think, like most women, when they are in abusive relationships, if you're intelligent, you get the fuck away from that person because you know this motherfucker just hit me and I did not deserve that.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you are a person who deserves that ass whooping, they come up with all that bullshit. What's that word they say? People who stay in relationships when they get beat up.
Enablers.
That is a bullshit word. Yeah. Some people know they fucked up and they get fucked up. They know that this motherfucker really got their back, so they stay in that shit because they know if I wouldn't have done that,
they take him out bad.
He wouldn't hit me.
No,
Brandi?
No.
Brandi disagrees.
No. Oddly enough, for the first time ever, I might slightly agree with Corey.
Go ahead, Brandi.
And I'm gonna get personal on it. I myself have been in a situation where there was an altercation, and I actually didn't start. I wasn't the one starting the verbal altercation. The guy was, and I was like, "Listen, this is getting too much. It's getting too heated. I'm trying to go."
What did you do? Now, you showed up in baby blue.
But let's hear her out, because I want to hear what she got to say. Like, why was he doing that to you?
Yeah.
You know, we were...
Was he crazy?
No, I wasn't being crazy.
No, I said, was he crazy? See, you know when somebody crazy.
Not all the time. I'm going to go ahead and caveat this by saying, for the most part, he was fine.
Okay. He just was fucking up.
Yeah. There was a night where we got into a little disagreement and it was a little bit too heated and I tried to walk away from it. As a matter of fact, I was like, "Hey, I'm not. This is getting too crazy, and I don't like the way you talk to me when you get like my pedicure was jacked up." So now after doing that, he kept attacking me verbally, which then hit me on that. What's that one back there, the little lizard thingy that you were telling me about? Like the
limbic system of the brain, the reptilian brain.
I went from trying to be reasonable and like, okay, we're not going to do this right now.
To snap, crackle, pop.
I went snap, crackle, pop.
Right.
And I slapped him.
Ooh, Lord, Jesus.
And before my slap was finished, I got punched in the jaw. That was it. Now, that had never happened to me before. After I woke up and realized what had went down, I thought...
After I woke up?
After I stopped talking to the Tweety Birds, I was just like... Oh, now I get it. And it was not a good situation. But at the same time, I know that, like... I was the one who initiated the physical contact.
She ain't telling us everything.
But you know,
let's
give her this, though.
I'm just skipping the details.
But let's give her this, though.
I'm skipping the details.
What I can give Brandi right now that is fucking rare is Brandi is taking accountability for what the fuck happened.
Now listen, I think he started it, but I was the one who started the physical altercation. Even though I still feel I find him responsible because I tried to walk away from the verbal altercation.
Right,
well,
he lost.
But once I went to that place,
for a man, it's a lose-lose situation anyway.
But once I went to that place, I was the one. I just, I slapped with all of my might.
I'd have let you go, and then I'd have called the popo, and like I've done in the past, I'd have waved at you as they told you to watch your head.
Now listen.
I can honestly say I never called the police.
I don't know. He actually thought that I was going to do that, but even I don't call the police on a black man unless he really, really deserves it. Because
my soulmate.
I just can't. I can't. I mean, there's
the wrong nigga the last time.
She'll take a punch and won't call the popo.
No, but like I said, I don't consider that abuse, and I'm willing to say that happened in a relationship that I was in because I understand the difference. Like we weren't in an ongoing abusive relationship like that, but it was an incident.
But what happens if the women stop circling the wagon around you because you're taking responsibility by saying, you know what, I initiated this shit. A lot of times women be like, oh, no, you got to stand.
It's not always the woman's fault. It's not always the victim's fault.
It's never always the woman's fault. We didn't say that.
Woman, listen. It's always men.
And
always
woman and victim. Wait a minute.
Men will always put the blame on the woman for what they did to them. Always.
Cheated? No. Listen, hold on a second.
Woman and victim are not synonymous terms.
Thank you.
We have to stop doing that.
I'm talking about any victim, whether it's a man or a woman, whoever it is.
That's real cute, Margo. Nice try.
No,
but
it's true.
That is no.
No, it's the truth.
Still...
I'm talking about when it comes to women in that aspect, but it can be a man as well. It can be the duality is there. It's human. We have humanity is to be protected.
We need to teach our women how to engage a man, and because we don't have that in society, a lot of shit go too far.
Right. Yeah. Right. Go ahead. And then Brandi.
Okay. I would tell any woman that I love, sister, mother, cousin, whoever, do not ever challenge a man physically.
That's what I tell my
sister knows better. If my sister came to me and told me some dude beat her up, I can honestly head toward that nigga because I know that she ain't gonna challenge you because I've talked to her about this and she's never done it.
Right.
So if somebody is beating her up, that's just a bully right there.
Right.
She's not trying to fight you.
Right.
She's not gonna do that.
Right.
I think that more women need to realize you can't fight men.
That's right.
Because it causes the chaos where it's almost impossible to sort it out.
Right.
If you known for fuck you motherfucker, getting all up in a motherfucker face like that and all that shit because it's too dangerous.
Right.
It is dangerous. And women, my mother taught me that, and that's a very valuable lesson. I see women go against that all the time.
Brandi and then Bobby.
Right, yeah, no, like I said, in that situation, I'm not saying that either one of us, I mean, like I said, it was a verbal altercation, but I did try to walk away from it, but I have to take responsibility for starting the physical part of it, for losing control. Like, quite honestly, I thought it was his fault because I was like, I tried to walk away from you. But at the same time, it was, it was like, he said, hey, I'm a dude. Once you hit me, I just reacted. It wasn't like he came over and started pounding me. It's just like there was a slap and a punch, and then it was over. You know what I mean?
Bobby?
Well, I'm reminded of
that's how it normally go.
The night at the Weeping Willow Lounge in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Rooster Wade got into it with his wife.
Serving them big ass Long Islands and jugs.
No, we was drinking moonshine back then.
And pancakes at 5 in the morning.
This was another era.
The Weeping Willow Saloon.
Yeah. So Rooster and his wife got into a little dispute that was based on, women can trigger that by just, knowing that Rooster don't play that kind of stuff, and she danced with this guy and he grinded on her, and they got into an argument, and she beat him to the draw because both of them carried guns, and she fired at Rooster and missed, and then he fired at her and hit. He didn't kill her, but he just nicked her, And the reason I brought that up,
what music was they playing?
That's true love.
That's a flesh wound, girl. I could have shot you in the chest.
Yeah, they both survived.
Cheating in the next room.
They was playing that music like when y'all remember that movie The Jerk with Steve Martin? When it was going off, that music, oh Lordy. Oh Lordy.
But see, when you start getting into escalation, one thing women need to be aware of and men need to, we know that threshold. And women take us there like nobody else on the planet. Woo! And what'll happen is, I don't care how high you get, we're going to go to that next notch. So if it's a slap, it's a punch. If it's some gunfire, then we going for that AK-47 because it's just our nature. Once the violence starts, that's who we are.
That's it. Tell the women, once the conversation gets to the point of yelling, leave it alone.
Just stop. Right.
Leave it alone. Let him calm down because now you're in the room with an upset man. Yeah. Let it go.
He's stronger than you. He's big. He can break your bones. Right. He can kill you with his hands if he's mad.
You can defeat him mentally, and a lot of weak men who know that they can't win mentally, they don't know nothing else to do but fight.
The only thing they say, the only thing they say is bitch what?
I've been in that. I've been in that space.
It ain't the big one.
It's that 5'2" nigga.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to only say.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just gonna caveat by saying I think it's unfair to only say that women are the ones that escalate because I think that this room kind of tends to lean in that direction. So whoever is responsible for escalating the argument, whoever takes responsibility for
we're not talking about.
No matter who escalates.
Men don't like arguing. We really don't like.
But they do.
Brandy.
Some men. No, some men are talking about.
Okay, everybody can't talk at the same time.
It doesn't matter who escalated. Once that man start yelling. Leave it alone.
Okay.
You're right. I agree, ladies. If you're listening, I agree.
That's good advice right there.
Once he start yelling, leave it alone.
Yeah. Shut your damn mouth.
Somebody gonna go to jail. Somebody gonna die.
I've been knocked out once.
Brandy, I want to address what you said. About men who escalate violence with women. We are alpha males. We only discuss alpha males. If you got some coward ass beta male, I can't tell you about that. I'm talking about this dude. All right, now, Willow, I done told you, leave me alone now. That dude right there that is giving you the out. Look, you right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Why are you right here with this shit?
Fucking draw the car, just leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Yeah. Right. If he right there, if you hear, hey, shut the fuck up.
That's the word.
That's a warning.
But
don't
men,
shut
y'all
up.
instigate too. Men can instigate too. Men, y'all can be like chatty mouth too.
Those are beta males.
We
are not responsible for beta male cowards. Please quit bringing up beta male cowards. I am talking about alpha males that you have. Yes, they're cornholers.
What up on you to pick a fight?
Let me make this example. Everybody, let me make this example. I make this example all the time. I say, listen. Men take about 35, 40 seconds to get into a fist fight on the basketball court, arguing a foul. We're not going to be arguing for an hour.
Hell no.
It's going to take about 35 seconds of real, hey, motherfucker, that's a goddamn hey, nigga, what the fuck? And right there, we're there.
Fuck you, no, nigga, fuck you.
We're there. So we're not built, because, I like to give the fucking facts. The fact is, women are better communicators than men, both positively and negatively. In other words, women speak about, 15, 20,000 words a day? Men are around 5,000. Okay? Women are better communicators. Women speak and talk and commune to figure out what it is the fuck they want to say. Men don't do that. We're very deliberate in the way we speak and the way we deal. Bottom line.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is, if you take us off our playing field, right, and put us into yours, we're at a disadvantage. So if you're there in a negative space, breaking us down, what else do you think is left for us in recourse? Two things. Get the fuck out of there and walk away. And when we do that, you're a bitch-ass nigga for leaving the conversation.
Oh, bitch nigga.
Right? Or stay and continue to ramp
Look at you
up.
walking away.
What do you want us to do?
See, the whole point is that people have to learn how to calm their emotions and have self-control. If you don't have any control over yourself, then you're going to lose in life. No matter
what about the woman controlling the conversation negatively?
We're not talking about anybody who doesn't have control.
We're not talking about anybody. Women, those with ovaries. Address those with ovaries.
Okay, ovaries, what do you want to know about the ovaries?
I want to know. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you.
Yes. Tell your ovaries to speak.
Words, yes.
Coming out.
Words to this effect.
Yes.
Yes. There are some good dudes doing time, doing the rest of their life because there was a woman who did not take the male cues from an alpha male to stand the fuck down.
Now, this same
Get down now.
guy that you're talking about has a responsibility, just like she has a responsibility to own up to her part. He has a responsibility to not tap into.
Oh my God, I just said that. But what I haven't heard you say.
What is that?
I have not heard you say. Every time I bring a valid point around titties, you throw dicks in it.
Come on.
I am saying,
yes,
women, not dudes. He's already said,
okay, come on.
Dudes got a short fuse.
Okay.
Don't poke the big dog with a fucking stick.
Right. Everybody should be smart enough to know that. If you everybody,
there you go with everybody.
They don't have classes in college.
Because some people don't have awareness.
They don't have classes in college for this because the courthouse wins
all the
more
time.
we get into arguments
Yes.
with our ladies, with our brothers.
Yes.
They need to have classes that show how men act around each other. Just like you said, Zoe. Perfect example are the bears at the watering hole. When you watch the bears at the watering hole, they all be walking like this, like, look, I'm just coming to get some water. It's like a language they speak. When they walk, look, I'm just coming to get some water.
Don't fuck around.
See each other, they be like, okay, that nigga just get some water, okay? And women, when they're around each other, when they fight, they normally, it's a whole lot of barking before they fight.
Right.
Unless it's an ugly girl fighting a cute bitch. Because the ugly bitches, they fight cute bitches. Cute bitches ain't got to be nothing but just
I got 50 on the ugly bitch.
Ugly bitches will start a fight with a cute bitch so fast. When you see them fighting, you already know what happened. You be like, that ugly bitch. Y'all didn't experience it. I know.
I'll be all right. Oh, no.
All ugly bitches fight 5 times in their adulthood.
In their adult life.
Yeah, when they're 21 and older, they done got in at least 5 fights because they ugly bitches.
And all I'm saying is violence is a common through line. They've done the research. Even in kid relationships, there's violence. In elderly relationships, there's violence. I believe if you're going to build a successful relationship, you have to build a philosophical concept for dealing with violence. Not a fucking fantasy that says, Prince Charming is going to come and take all my shit. Vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be that way. We have to build something that can help us deal with it.
Absolutely. And I have something I have to share with you all because I've been in different relationships in my life. The quality is getting better because I'm making better decisions about that.
There you go.
And the relationship that I'm in now.
Why, Corey?
No, because she's getting older and she's getting wiser. When you're young and pretty, you do the dumbest shit in the world. When you older and pretty, you like, this pretty shit is kind of overrated.
Exactly.
Yes.
With a lot of bullshit motherfucker.
Right.
That would give me a winner this time. That's what happens to you. I already know.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you something. There have been some times, and it's been a short period, but we've had moments where we've gotten into, where, because I get excited, y'all already know. So I might raise my voice, or he might raise his voice, but we get to the point that he always calms me. We have to, if one is already on fire, the other one, you have to talk to them and say, baby,
that's maturity.
Calm down.
Yep.
Exactly. This is, we don't want to. I don't want to start yelling. I don't want to get mad. Let's stop. And then he'll communicate.
But let me say this.
He'll tell me.
Margo,
let me just tell you this. He communicates in his process when he's getting upset. He says, "I'm getting upset. We should stop this now."
Right.
He attempts to stop it. So men do have a responsibility to do that.
But
you are strong enough. So you can knock our block off and really hurt a woman. You can hurt a woman.
Wait, because I want you to finish that thought.
Yes.
But I need you to allow me to guide you.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, be a woman right now.
Yes, I'm always a woman, honey.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
And I think you're saying something that's really powerful, but at the same time, we have to keep in mind that even the most mature of us, right, or the so-called leader, or the most responsible, or the most educated, the most experienced, whatever, even that fail-safe can fall through.
It can.
A lot of times, we'll look at that person and go, oh, you're the smartest, you're the wisest, you're the oldest, you're the this, you're the that, and you should be the one that should guide us away from this negative cliff.
It should be
anybody in any given
situation. You take turns being the person that stands up.
So
both can't be in the mud.
So the point that I'm making is,
yes,
we have to be more mindful of the unrealistic expectations in our relationships that's actually making the decisions for what we're doing.
I agree.
It's the fucking bullshit expectations that's whispering in our ear saying, shit should be like this. But we've never questioned those expectations if they're faulty. We've never seen that.
Them. Communication is the number one thing. You have to sit down with your mate and talk to them. Some people
that's verbal communication. But ladies, will you answer this question for me? Yeah. Can a man, like if you into it with your man where y'all going back and forth, not necessarily arguing, or even if you are arguing,
have the discussion. He did.
Yeah, well, yeah. If he takes some pussy from you, don't that calm you down?
No.
What? It don't?
Well, if you give him some,
it's a lot of girls when you just be like, bitch, shut the fuck up and rip all their clothes off
and tear that ass up.
Tear that ass up. They go cook you something to eat after that. We saw it on Baby Boy.
Hold on a second.
We saw it on Baby Boy.
Don't you believe that shit?
Maybe, wait, Brandi. Maybe he's not clear. Maybe he's not clear. I'm not talking about regular sex. I'm talking about where when he get done, you stand up and you walk like a newborn calf.
No, you get overpowered and pleasured sometimes
and get it down.
It works.
I don't want you to lead men to believe that is the answer.
It's not the answer.
It's definitely not the answer if you can't elicit the
it works every 15 arguments. It's almost like a on Pac-Man, you get them energizers. Yeah. You only get a few of them. But it's effective. I'm telling you.
You have to be able to affect the newborn calf thing. If you can't fuck until the legs is noodly, then you don't need to. You can't just get in there with.
If that's your woman, it's not rape. It is a form of discipline.
No.
Okay.
Because a woman's down here is not getting wet. It's not opening for you until stuff is resolved. That's why relationships.
It get wet when you take it.
What?
Okay,
especially
Corey.
when they see you strong enough to hold them down and take the pussy.
Lord. That's what you're into.
All I wanted.
That's what you're into.
Bobby.
Okay.
The object should be that somebody, and it can work for women. If you got a brother on that edge right there, it's 100% sure. If you give him some, he's back in pocket.
Yeah.
He's back in pocket.
You can do that after the argument.
No, hell no. That stops the argument.
You can't say he got a little dick and he ain't shit.
I did do something. I can't tell you what I did, but I did
then offer some pussy.
You took your there you go.
It did diffuse.
Take your angry mouth and fill it.
Just pull your dick out and let me suck it.
Ask him. Don't even ask.
You don't ask.
You don't ask.
Argument more important.
Stop tripping and take this pussy.
Do it.
That's how you fix everything.
I bet you it ain't a straight man on the earth that's gonna jump back and smack your hands off his belt. Hell no, we gonna straighten this shit. No,
I got another point to make. No,
I don't.
I don't.
What are you doing?
I just feel like it works. I mean, it's been successful for me.
All right, so listen, this is what we have to do.
The women can do it, but if the man, I don't know, that could be a violation.
Margo, if you... We're running the show here.
Okay, go
Thank you, honey. You go. This is what we got to do really quickly.
About to put a so what across her forehead or something.
I mean, because Margo's been wild today.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's my stars. I did my
goddamn Leo.
We gonna set your seat up to a taser.
Right. You got to shock her.
Else want to
I'm alive. That means I'm alive.
When this is some shit people don't like to say, but when ugly girls get wild, that's when you get mad at them. Just because they was like, look, I got something to say. Like, bitch, we don't give a fuck what you got to say. Because of how they look. But because
Margo fine ass. Margo can burn your summer house down.
We've been tolerating Margo the whole show.
Oh my God.
Beautiful ass. Okay, so this we have to do.
That motherfucker bad. That's why you been tolerating.
I can't stand no more now. Shit. Brandi.
Yes.
Where can our beautiful family, our audience, our group, where can they find you? How can they support anything that you're doing? Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, wherever.
You can find me on Twitter and Facebook, but I don't really use my Facebook that much. The name is Brandi Magee, BrandiMagee, or on Instagram at Princess Wildflower. That's kind of where I hang out most of the time.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you coming back out. I knew you were a little under the weather, and we're glad to have you back, and everything is okay.
It's good to see you, Brandi.
Thank you. It's good to see you too, Corey.
Oh, Lord.
Margo Hudson's wild lemur.
What's a lemur?
A beautiful woman.
I thought that was an expensive car.
Inside and out.
It's a monkey from Madagascar.
Could y'all do that again? Kiss again. Kiss again. Kiss again. Slower with your mouths open.
But they actually kiss?
Slower with your mouths open. Give her some tongue.
Okay, once for the host. Okay. Can I see the kiss?
Ooh, so
Jesus.
One more time. Let's see.
I'm scared.
Margo's a freak.
Oh, I love it. What kind of pornorific?
You missed it. Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Jesus.
I feel feel comfortable.
It was sisterly love because sisters don't love each other enough
right.
sometimes.
We don't. We should.
I got a porno called Sisterly Love.
Sisterly love. Okay.
We ain't passing number DAP over here, though.
I'm sweating below the waist. Okay,
So
where can they find you?
Margo Hudson, Destination Love Life. Hey, everybody's talking.
Where can they find you? Go ahead.
DestinationLoveLife.com is coming next year. We're working on it. There's a lot of stuff going on. My at Destin Love Life on Twitter and Facebook. It's Destination Love Life. Go there. You can send me messages there. I'm locked out of my accounts right now. We're working with Apple.
Jesus.
All kinds of stuff is going on, but still, just send me messages because I will be back soon.
All
and I'll
right.
see you all.
Okay. Margo Hudson. Corey Holcomb.
Hey, look here. So this Friday the 13th, St. Louis at the Ambassador, we having a side baby toy drive. We want you to bring all presents that's been opened.
Oh, God.
All open toys. Side babies should not get toys. Yeah, they should not get new toys. That's disrespect to your legitimate children. So we having a side baby toy drive. Bring open toys. We're going to put them in a bullshit bag and drop them off all over the hood. St. Louis, this is St. Louis. Y'all know what's up at the Ambassador. Friday night, Friday the 13th. At the Ambassador.
Okay. Bobby.
You can get me at realmendon'tplay.com. I've been running a series of articles on the real women in L.A., and one of my recent presentations has been When a Real Man Loves a Real Woman. You can also follow me at Glanton-Smith on Twitter. And don't forget about the Watson charity basketball game this Sunday at Cal State Northridge.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Jeff. The fuck?
I ain't doing shit. I'm just at the house putting up Christmas lights, trying not to fall off the ladder and break my fucking neck. I ain't
Where can they speak? Nigga, are you on Twitter or something?
You live at home alone? No. Oh, I was just about to send somebody at you on this backpage.com side. My Twitter is the Corey Holcomb, by the way. Go ahead.
At GB Funny Style. Go to Mixer.com, get some ignorant-ass holiday ringtones.
Hey, listen, we love to bring you entertainment and enlightenment and information and all of that stuff combined in one. Go to IamZoeWilliams.com, support my T-shirts and my book. I will send you an autographed copy. Please support the movement. Support all of the businesses that I highlighted earlier today. It's about recycling black dollars as well as recycling knowledge and love and respect and understanding. I think Corey made a great point. Until we get to the point where we start to police our own issues, we're going to always be in trouble, and our people are always going to use outside means to manipulate situations. And we got to be able to say, fuck that. You fought my sister, come deal with me. And then we deal with it that way. And I think our community will turn around if we start policing ourselves, setting a standard for ourselves and holding ourselves to that. I appreciate everybody for participating, and I'll be back next week. So what mornings? It's crazy.
Zoe got to get up out of here for that crazy bitch called crazy.
So what?